Welcome to prime time, bitch! Hello everyone, Prime the Lion here, and welcome to Prime's Time to Talk. A friend of mine shared this video on Facebook, and it's brain-numbing. Let's take a look.
Despite what you might be thinking, these two circles are not equal.
If you say so, but I think they're the same.
I repeat, these two circles are not equal.
Fine, I'll take your word for it.
One is in fact larger than the other.
If you say so.
What I need you to do is determine which one that is. So, please raise your hand if you believe the blue circle is larger than the red. Alright. Please raise your hand if you believe the red circle is larger than the blue.
Nah man, sorry, but my eyes tell me that those two circles are the same size, just different color.
Alright, very good. Now, before I said anything about these two circles, what was your first instinct?
Well, since I saw the circles before you started talking, I thought they were the same size.
Equal, right? Because they look equal. And the reason why they look equal is because in fact they are equal.
Are you fucking with me?
These two circles are identical.
And technically they're not identical, one is red and the other's blue.
Yet I got just about every one of you to raise your hand and say that they're not.
No, you lied to people, and the few of us who saw through your plan called your bullshit.
So what did we learn?
That you're a liar and full of shit?
That you can be manipulated like that.
Sorry man, but you weren't able to deceive anyone. You just lied.
To believe in something that goes against your natural instinct.
What is natural? My eyes told me they're the same size, and I trust in nature, because that is my instinct. It's a natural instinct.
Just imagine as a child you're taught that the blue circle is larger than the red.
And somebody has a shitty teacher.
If you say it enough times, you convince yourself that's the truth.
No man, not if you're at least a little bit skeptical, rational or logical.
If you're told the lie enough times, it becomes part of your reality.
Reality doesn't change because of lies. Reality is constant, and nothing that humans can do at this point can actually affect reality. You'd at least need an infinity stone for that.
And if enough people are taught that lie, that the blue circle is larger than the red, well now it becomes part of the culture.
No, initially it was part of the culture, not part of reality.
And if that culture then passes that misinformation along to the next generation,
what you're talking about is what is learned, not what is natural. You're looking at reality as a cultural thing when in fact it's a natural thing. Because some of your audience may have believed that the circles are not the same size, it doesn't change the reality that they were.
Well, now it becomes tradition. And what we have to remember is that just because we have a tradition doesn't mean it's morally acceptable. Tradition and morality are not always the same.
Agreed, but civilization, tradition, and morality are not a part of nature. They're part of the culture. It's nature versus nurture, basically.
I mean, can you think of any traditions that we once had in the United States of America that we no longer have?
I'm not going to comment on this part because I'm not from America. Hell, I'm not even from an English-speaking country.
That today we think back and that was immoral. Slavery, right? Less than 200 years ago. And that was a tradition. So the traditions we have today doesn't necessarily mean they're morally acceptable.
Right.
And as we evolve as a culture...
Wait. Evolution is a term to describe change in biological organisms over time. Neither cultures, moralities, or traditions are biological organisms. Culture simply changes, and it changes due to revolutions, while the change in evolution happens due to mutations.
So do our traditions. Now, The Matrix is a story.
Well, the first one is, but I'm not so sure about the other two.
It's a story. When told enough times to enough people, it becomes part of that culture.
Culture was based on stories back when we were primitive, but now that our understanding has advanced, our culture is more based on history.
It becomes the tradition.
Cultural acts become traditions. Stories become traditional.
And this story is being told over and over, every day.
Until you see through the bullshit and accept reality. But where are you going with this?
In fact, if you believe the image on the carton is where you're getting your milk from, you're deceiving yourself.
No, I believe the image on the carton is supposed to represent what is inside the carton.
This is a fantasy. It only exists in your head.
I don't have to believe where my milk comes from because I buy it off a local farmer. And it comes in a glass bottle with no pictures on it. But I can see him milking the morning cows when I take my dog for a walk and stop by to buy milk.
It's a blue pill fed to you by the industry.
The picture is supposed to represent what's in the carton, not how it got there. If not, explain these.
To get you to buy their product.
Yeah, that's how consumerism works.
This is the matrix, the lie we tell ourselves about where our food is coming from.
No, I'm telling you, they just represent what's in the carton in case you don't understand the language that's on the carton.
The reality is far more disturbing. 90 to 95% of the milk, the meat, and the eggs that we consume in the United States are coming from these conditions.
That is disturbing, and that's why I buy local.
In fact, every year in the United States, 10 billion, right? 10 billion are being slaughtered for food.
Too bad.
So what that works out to be is that every second in the United States, 300 animals are killed, just like that. So 300, 600, 900, 1,200.
Now let's think of how many animals are killed every second in nature. I bet it's more.
By the time I'm done talking today, there'll be over 1 million animals that have been slaughtered. And most of us don't even blink an eye.
Yes, because they were bred, born, and kept alive for the sole purpose of giving them a healthy lifestyle that is longer than would be in nature, and when it's done right, is more comfortable than nature. The only difference is man decides when it's time to go. But keep in mind that the farmer will also take the animal to the vet if it gets sick.
I mean, how is it possible that in the United States of America, we can slaughter 300 animals every second and not question that?
How many people does that keep fed?
Because of the story we've been told. The story justifies the action.
No, the need justifies the action.
If you say it enough times, you actually convince yourself that's the truth.
Well, it may be like that for you, but I can't convince myself. I can only be convinced by evidence, especially when it comes to the truth.
How many of you were taught as a child you need to eat meat to get protein?
No, I was told that I need protein and I can get it through meat easiest and tastiest.
I know I was.
Then your parents weren't good teachers.
How many of you were taught you need to drink cow's milk to get strong bones?
Again, I was taught that I need calcium to get strong bone, and milk is a plentiful source of calcium.
Not dog milk, not chimpanzee milk, not elephant milk, not rhino milk, not hippo milk, not tiger milk, not lion milk, not giraffe milk, not elephant milk. Did I say that already? I think you get the point.
Yes, the point is it's dangerous to try and milk undomesticated animals. Or would you like to prove me wrong by milking a fucking lioness?
Not even our own mother's milk, but we need to drink cow's milk to get strong bones. The absurdity of drinking the milk from any other species and any other being besides our own mother.
So are you telling me that every time I want a cup of coffee with milk, I should call my mom and ask her to come over and bring some of that silky, milky, breasty goodness with her, rather than putting cow's milk in it? I mean, if your mom lets you do that, that's fine, but I don't want to inconvenience my mom with such stupidity.
When it's said enough times, loses its absurdness.
Yeah, no, drinking milk is natural. It's culture that is making you think that's absurd. And are you saying it's absurd to have surrogate breastfeeders for women who can't breastfeed their child themselves? Dude, that's stupid, offensive, and close-minded.
Now, the first thing we've been taught is that our diet is natural.
It is natural. We eat things that are found in nature and they sustain us. Natural.
You know, we eat meat, dairy, and eggs, so therefore it must be natural. So,
no, it's natural because meat, dairy, and eggs are natural.
Let's find out. Now, you have two images on the wall. I want you to tell me all the thoughts that come to mind when you see the image on the left. And don't be afraid to scream out. What do you see?
Red, sex, sweet.
Fresh, yum, sweet, right? If I come into the room with a basket of strawberries, how many of your mouth starts to salivate? Your mouth starts to water?
Well, no, actually. I don't start salivating when I see sweet things. But bacon and steaks make my mouth water.
If I take a strawberry and I put it under your nose, what do you smell?
Strawberries?
If I take a knife and I slice that strawberry in half and put that under your nose, now what do you smell?
Strawberry juice.
Notice how all the sensations remain the same. You see a strawberry and it looks like a strawberry. You smell a strawberry and it smells like a strawberry. And you take a bite out of a strawberry and surprise, surprise, it tastes like a strawberry.
Banana?
Exactly, it's a strawberry. But what thoughts come to mind when you see the image on the right?
Pumbaa bacon cremenattles.
Cute. You know, when I go to a classroom, you'll get half the kids who say, oh, cute. Animal, pig, Wilbur, babe. So half the class will see an animal, and the other half of the class will see bacon, sausage, ham, pig's feet, pork, and hot dog. They'll see a food.
Chances are, in that particular class, half of the kids are from the countryside and half of the kids are from the city. Again, culture, not nature.
It's one or the other. You're either seeing an animal or you're seeing food. Now, what would happen if I took one of the pigs living, brought him into the room right here, and put him right in front of you?
First, I'd ask you if you have permission from the venue to bring a farm animal in here. Next, I'd ask if it was yours. If it was, that'd be the end of my questions.
Does that change it? Now what do we see? And I mean, what would we think if one of us got up and started chewing on the pig?
I'd laugh my ass off because I presume a living pig wouldn't let a man just do that. But go ahead and try. Let's see what happens.
Not very normal. If I come into the room with a pig under my arm, how many of your mouth starts to salivate?
Bacon.
Right? If I took a knife and I sliced that pig in half and put that under your nose, now what do you smell? You smell the stench of death.
No, they were right. You smell blood. Death is not physical. It doesn't have a smell.
You smell a rotting corpse, bacteria.
You just killed the pig. The corpse is not yet rotting. Rotting takes time.
Decomposing flesh.
Flesh needs time to decompose.
You see, there's a process involved, and I'm here today to show you that process of how you convert this animal into this product.
Well, I don't know about you, but I don't buy products like that.
Why should it be kept a secret? Why should we not know what we're participating in and what we're putting in our body?
Just like my milk, I also buy meat from local farmers that I trust and that I know that they have good environments for their animals.
Now, let's make the situation slightly more realistic.
For fuck's sake, yes, let's talk about reality again. But we'll have to do it in part 2 of this video. I didn't think that my first video would be this long, but looks like I'll have to split it into 2 for YouTube. So I'll see you guys in part 2.